Hello Spanish 1 student, and welcome to my first ever flipped classroom video. Today we're just going to go briefly through some pronunciation of some of the new terms in your chapter on page 105. So if you're following along in your book, or if you've taken a picture of it, we're looking at the Avancemos book, the one with the orange on there. It has the number 1. It's got the number 1 on the binding as well. There it is. Boom. Turn it open to page 105. Every time we learn a new chapter, we direct you to the very last page of the chapter, or one of the last pages of the chapter that has all the vocabulary words on it. But it's good to practice pronunciation on your own. It's good to start learning vocabulary as soon as you can, because these are the words I'm going to test you on. I may not test you on every single term, but I'm going to test you on a lot of them. And I want you to know from the very beginning of the chapter exactly which terms are going to be necessary to learn. So we're on page 105. You see I have it up on the screen here as well. There's page 105. You can follow my cursor. I'm going to be reading through each of these terms, phrases, sentences twice. The first time probably a little faster, second time a little bit slower. I won't be going over the English because you can see that there on the screen. Save us some time. But I'll start in the upper left corner of page 105, which under that big word for vocabulary, vocabulario, says tell time and discuss daily schedules. So there's several terms under there. We'll go through each one, how to pronounce it. I might give you a couple notes along the way. Those are things we'll talk about more in class and perhaps in another video. Alright, here we go. Starting with the first one under tell time and discuss daily schedules. Top of the screen here. Follow my mouse here. ¿A qué hora es? ¿A qué hora es? Quick reminder that the H, and you'll see several of them here, the H in Spanish is silent. So you see an H. It is a letter that's still written. It doesn't sound like anything. Alright, so it's important to notice that. You see that on the next term as well. That H right there is going to be silent. So it's ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? Or literally, what hour is it? You might have noticed that is a cognate. Next one down. Two options here. You can either say a la, or a las. A las. That depends on if you're saying at 1 o'clock, a la una, or all the other hours, 2 through 12. A las dos would have to be a plural form of it. Las instead of la. Further down, you have es la, which is how you say it is when you're talking about the 1 o'clock hour. Es la una would be it is 1 o'clock. Son las is the next one. Son las is how you say it is when you talk about the other hours. Hours 2 through 12. So 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock would be son las dos. Moving on down, if you want to say in the morning, you're kind of saying of the morning. It's kind of literally what you're saying. So, de la mañana. De la mañana. That means in the morning. It's kind of like AM, if you have a time in front of it. Next one down, de la tarde. De la tarde. You might remember the term buenas tardes. Remember what that means? That's right. Good job. It means good afternoon. So, tarde here means afternoon, or it's kind of like the late part of the day. De la tarde can be used for PM times when it's still light outside, if you want to get a rough idea when to use that with times. The next one down, de la noche. De la noche means at night. So it's PM times, but generally dark outside. Next one down, we've seen this word a couple times, the word meaning hour or sometimes time. La hora. So that's a feminine word. Notice the la in front. Remember the H is silent. La hora. The next one down is a masculine word. Both of these words, this one and the preceding, are singular, meaning they're just one thing. This one is the word for schedule. It is el horario. Notice I'm not pronouncing the H. You've seen a lot of H's here. We're not pronouncing any of them. So if you want to sound silly, go for it. But you don't have to. El horario means schedule. Next one down, menos. Menos means minus. It means less. In this case, menos for telling time would be saying like 5 minutes until the next hour. So in Spanish, it's a little tricky. We probably won't talk about this too much. But you'll basically say, instead of saying 10 minutes till 8, you'll say it's 8 o'clock minus 10 minutes. Sounds a little weird. Don't worry about it so much. But the word is pronounced menos, and you should be familiar with that word. Next, y cuarto. Y cuarto. Cuarto is the word meaning quarter. It could mean a room, as in living quarters. It could be a quarter in a basketball game or a football game. The fourth quarter of a football game or basketball game would be el cuarto cuarto, the fourth of the game. Next on down, if you want to say and a
Mr.
certain number of
Wumba,
minutes.
Mr. Hazlett, or Miss Fleming, please call extension 350.
There's just no respect around here for flipped classroom videos. But stick with me. You got this. The last couple in this section, y10, y10. That 10 is in parentheses because you can say other numbers other than 10. Hopefully you knew that was 10. You could say and 13 minutes. If you're talking about time, you basically be saying like it's 2 o'clock and 13 minutes, or it's 2:13 to us. All right, you could say 53 on there instead of 10. Doesn't really matter. Something in Spanish. And the last one, y media, means and a half, or and a half an hour. Your book says half past, meaning half past the hour, 30 minutes. All right, that's what we're going to use it for. So lots of things with telling time. We'll deal more with that in class as we get going. Don't worry about some of these so much, but pronunciation is the thing we can work on. Learning vocabulary is never going to hurt you. How it's worked and the syntax of all of it, we'll deal with that, and you can certainly ask me questions in real life. All right, we're going to go ahead and end there. That's section 1, telling time and discuss daily schedules of vocabulary, page 105.